Alright, now we should be good. Okay, so this, like I said, this line is harder to play for white. For black, I just have more trouble with it. I'm gonna look see what the suggested. Okay, I played that. I legit might just have to drop this line for black. Because the computer always shows plus 1.2 something at this point, even though this is book. Yeah, the computer always shows plus 1 at this point, even though this is all book. I don't think that's a glowing recommendation on an opening unless it doesn't particularly understand what's going on. So bishop g4 is no good. I gotta play queen a4. But even then, it's still plus 1 after queen b3. But then maybe I castle. I don't know. You know, sometimes the computer has a misconception about positions. The computer can have misconceptions about positions sometimes. It could be favoring white just because he has the two bishops. You know. Oops. I lost my analysis board. Yeah, it could be favoring white because of the two bishops. And not really liking the structure for black. I mean, computers always seemingly gonna like. A lot of times it's gonna favor the side with the two bishops in positions like this. So queenside castles is bad. Maybe that's where queenside castles is bad. Yeah. Oh, white's just crushing here. I figured white was crushing here, you know. The computer's showing a consistent advantage for white, even though I felt like white was kind of slipping up. Nah, it's still plus 3. And then I played this losing move, e6, loses a piece. I guess if I play this line again, I have to go. If I play this line again, I have to go on the king side. Alright, so we're getting our losses out of the way early tonight. That's okay. That's okay. That happened yesterday, and then I won my next 4. Okay, so we got a Sicilian. Let's aim for the Grand Prix. It's an interesting line, but if it keeps getting me in trouble and I can't improve, I'm gonna have to scrap it, even though it's a book line, and just play normal moves like knight f6 there. Because it doesn't feel like you get as good a positions as when I play like a Gingy Indian or something. Okay. See, this is last night. Last night my opponent played. Last time my opponent played this move knight d4 much later, and I was expecting it sooner. Do I just castle? I probably just castle. Probably just castle. Yeah, he takes. I know d5 is a line. Followed by knight f6. I haven't really done a lot of work on this stuff in a while, so I'd probably be a little rusty on that stuff. Okay, so he's playing d5. Let's see. Let's see what we got. We can take, and then he's going to go knight f6. He's not going to play queen takes. There's also take and a6. But then I have knight c3. And he has knight f6. And the best move is to take. Knight f6. Trying to remember. There's a really funky line. So we go d4, c4. Yeah, I don't remember the lines. And I probably need to do a little reviewing on these lines. I'm trying to think. There's some really weird line. I don't know if I can get it after c4 in this position, or if I need to play d4 right away. Was my other inclination. It's hard when you don't necessarily remember the specific variation, but like your intuition seems to be trying to lead you, to decide is this the right variation to play, or am I mixing stuff up in my head, Because I'm just thinking, like, if you try to play this with e6, don't I have... Well, first of all, I could probably just take. But I'd also have rook e1. So, what does... I mean, what's really going on here, Is the fact that this bishop is just really strong here, is that the compensation? d4, pawn takes, knight takes, queen b6. There's pressure in the center. So let's go rook e1 to put pressure on e7. I mean, if he goes e6, we might have d6. No, because then he probably has a6. And then we gotta move, and then he can take on d6. If you guys are enjoying the content, please hit that follow button. Tomorrow I will be playing with viewers and subs. So if you guys are subbed to the channel or are an active follower, I will play with you guys. I haven't decided if I'm going to play longer games tomorrow, since that's been kind of my theme lately, or, you know, do we, you know, maybe play some. Okay, so now we're kind of like overextended. Yeah, I might play some longer. If I go b3, he just can move his knight with the discovery. I'm not really too thrilled about this. If I don't have a lot of people who show up who want to play, which has seemed to be the norm lately, I could probably play longer games with viewers. So if that's you and you want to play a 10-15 minute game, which I haven't really done too much on stream until the last couple of days, tomorrow is going to be a good time to stop on by. Oh, he has this move. Yeah, I'm just not playing very well right now. This is the way it keeps going tonight. Just underdeveloped and not playing well. You could just take here, because I can't take because he has this move. Underdeveloped and not playing well. I haven't lost 3 game in 15 in forever, and this is, I'd be surprised if I'd come back in this game. Yeah, I'm just gonna resign this. This is garbage.
Access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. The only one was always there for you, like your mom.
Yeah, this is just completely losing already. I forget what my correct line is. Not remembering. Getting into variations tonight, I'm not remembering my. Okay, so what do we got? All right, this is. Wait. Okay. This is where chess.com's computer. This e takes d5 is correct. Or e5. I don't. Yeah. Okay. D4. That's what I thought. D4. A6. Knight C3. Takes on D4. Queen takes D4. Weird. And then he goes like B5 is what the computer says. Really? Can I? Okay, c5 is overextending, I guess. And then there's knight e5. This is weird. My opponent, I believe, is watching the stream. So if you're watching the stream, my opponent, click that follow button so I can give you a shout out, my man. I mean, I'm disappointed that I played like this. I just resigned because it's just like I'm just completely getting owned here. Like, to the average person watching the game, like. Thank you for the follow. Good game. I've been playing a lot better, man. Title killer. I've been playing a lot better lately, but you know, you just completely outplayed me, and I felt like this was all going downhill. So I don't want to waste time, especially against a strong player. I just want to see what opening. Yeah, rookie one was bad. I should have played d4. I felt like I should play d4, but I didn't trust myself. And then queen b3 is just bad. But, I mean, d3, I think you definitely have compensation now. Anyway, I just wanted to see what the, I wanted to see what what I missed, even though that was an extremely short game. You want to just make sure, you know. Anyway, I'm going to try to give you a better game than that. Okay, guys. First time I've lost three game in 15s. Well, I definitely hadn't done that the last 2 or 3 days. Okay. Let's put pressure on d4. This line has been serving me well the last couple of days, so hopefully we can get back on track. Queen a5. Hopefully we can get our opponent out of a little bit of his theory. He did play d takes c5 though, but which honestly you don't see. I don't see a whole lot of that going on. Lately, it feels like. They normally play knight c3 or bishop e3. Oh, wow. I'm somewhat surprised right now, guys. He's playing like he knows all this. Most people don't know how to play. Most people don't know you can play like this against this line. So now I have to be even more careful. Okay. Because the idea is that you're going to play knight. You're going to go bishop e3 at some point. And you're going to, like, get your knight into b5. I don't know if he's just making this up or if he actually has studied this. Yeah, he said he just looked at this yesterday. What? Why would you look at this line? There's like nobody who plays this stuff for black that I play. Why would you look at this line? I'm in a state of shock right now, guys. Who studies this stuff? I mean, besides me. Wow. Oh, I don't remember this, even remember these lines as much. Can I play Queen A5? I mean, you have to be so precise on playing like these lines, type of lines. My idea with d6, guys, is that I wanted to play knight d7 at some point, so that I mean, though, the odds of running into somebody who had actually just looked at this, very, very unusual, guys. Really. Oh, this is definitely going to be interesting. So if I take, what does he want? Bishop b5 or knight c4? Okay, we're probably gonna get roasted, but I'm gonna take anyway. I think the main idea of this was that he was trying to cut off bishop takes c3. I don't know. I haven't looked at these. I haven't really looked at these lines either in forever, so which means he's probably gonna get an advantage because he just looked at these lines yesterday. What does he want? B4? Now he wants B4. Can we go knight C6? Knight C6, B4, queen D8. We're getting in trouble. Knight C6, B4, queen D8. The issue is he takes. And then he castles. We have to block because we can't move our king because we get forked. Do I really have to play knight A6? Okay, I'm gonna go this, but I'm probably gonna get roasted. Yeah, I don't like what's going on here. Yeah, he has that move too. My pieces are getting misplaced. Castles, bishop d7. Everything's getting pinned down. Like, I can't move my king because I get forked. I mean, if I have time like a6 move my king, I'm probably fine, but I'm probably not going to have time for that. This guy's being really helpful. Really, really, really helpful opponent. Wanting to help out my channel. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate just genuinely nice people who come in and follow, and they hear about the things I want to accomplish with the channel, and then they hear about the things I want to accomplish with the channel, and then they take the time to try to do what they can to help out. That's hats off to my opponent for being so classy, because not everybody does things like that. Okay. I need to unravel this. Okay, a6. Okay, so we don't. Oh, but if we go here, he can capture an f7 to exploit the awkwardness of this bishop still. I mean, we could play e6. Does he have this? Probably. I probably just gotta let a pawn go and catch up in development. And disappointing I didn't have an opportunity to really defend this f7 pawn again because there's too much pressure going on f7 and this bishop being pinned, you know. And we have to take because he's double attacking our knight and we got our rook is under attack. I have rook f8. Oh, is his bishop trapped? Yeah, but I still probably have issues on a lot of these squares. Plus he has knight. Can I do this? I mean, like his bishop can't move, but my situation still seems awkward here. So, if he goes, the only thing I'm looking at here that is nice is that there's no, like, he can't go knight b6 and, like, put a bishop on b6 as well, you know? If he plays bishop, I just move. And then maybe we go bishop e7. Okay, I gotta defend my bishop. This rook is awkward, though. But we're threatening bishop e... Oh, I didn't see that. No, we're just dead again, right? Okay. I probably gotta take on a5. And now we're just toast, right? No, we have this move. Woo! He has this move, though. And then he's out of his issues. Phil, I thought I had him there. The issue is that this runs into this. But I guess we probably gotta try this. Alright. There's still chances. Oh, that was a good move. Shoot. That's probably game right there. Because if I take the bishop, I get forked. I wanted to go rook e8. Rook e8 was the last really challenging move I had. Yeah, rook e8 was the last attempt to cause issues. Because he would have run into e-file issues, but now I can't get the rook d8. But I can't take the bishop. But if I move it somewhere, he could just take and fork me. Alright, let's look at that. Blitz Rider, we will see what you're referring to. Yeah, this is just not going well tonight for me. So my accuracy was not bad. My accuracy was 93.6, so I mean, I would have thought it was worse than that. Okay, let's extend my board. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. We'll see. We will see. Okay, so this is book. Yeah, d6 is correct. d6 is a move, that's right. This e5 move is not in my... This e5 move is not in any of my books that I remember. So, we can actually take, I guess. And then what? He has knight b5. So he's bringing pressure in here. And then we got bishop e6. Weird. I'm kind of... like I said, I don't think this e5 move is even mentioned in anything I have. So this is just slightly better for white. I mean, I'm familiar with a lot of the positions where I have doubled e-pawns and it's okay. Because they're not really... The e-pawns are not really a weakness that can be exploited. I mean, and you just develop knight f6, castle. Your dark squares really aren't that much of an issue if you're careful. I mean, I'll have to go back and check, but I don't think this e5 move is in anything I have. Queen a5. I mean, knight c4 or knight b5 are also moves. I mean, maybe not here. The computer doesn't like it here. I guess knight c4 probably makes more sense. Then queen c7. It's definitely a weird line, and I would play, you know, as with a lot of things, you would play it a lot more accurately if you have opportunities to use it. But I just don't get those opportunities. Okay, so this is what happened. I mean, white's around +1. It's not... a6 was bad. Really. Oh, he had this move. He completely missed this move, yeah. That would have been good. I missed it, too. So I need to go king c8. And then knight takes f7. We have to take... Bishop takes f7. And then just rook f8. None of this, like, e6 I tried to play later. Because even though it looked like his bishop was getting trapped, the d6 square was an issue, and I had the pawn on a6, which also meant that b6 was an issue. So just play rook f8, I guess. And... I mean... It says white's better, but it's still a game. It's still definitely a game. Unlike what happened, which felt like it really wasn't a game. Okay, but knight a3 is not the correct move. Bishop b6. I mean, now apparently this is not... e6 was my blunder. e6 was my blunder. So the correct move here is to play e4. And the idea is we're threatening this move, winning a couple of pawns is a lot stronger. And actually at this point after e4, it's like approximately equal. Play. Interesting. But after bishop b6, white's just crushing. I didn't see bishop a5. That was... And now he's not crushing. Yeah, here I thought like I might be okay. And again, we're back to a situation where this isn't... Okay, that was my blunder. So I say go king c7. And it's funny because even though we're down 2 pawns, this is This is plus. This is only barely over +1 for white. Crazy. He's had multiple big advantages in this game. And they were not immediately decisive. Okay, so, but what I played was wrong. I mean, here, I didn't even see that. The issue is this is always... This is just GG. Unfortunately, that's just GG. Okay, so the takeaway basically is I had multiple chances to come back in this game. The biggest issue in this game, okay, one of them was not easily noted. One of them was not taken advantage of by my opponent, was A6 earlier. But then when I got my opportunity to come back in the game and he captured on F7, E4 was the move. The problem with E6 is that you have too many weaknesses in your position. There's no time to trap this bishop. So, a man of focus, if you're watching in the chat, GG's. Hopefully I can do better against you next time. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Hope to see you again. Hope to play some more games against you in the future. Alright. Let's move on. F4. Alright, so I just joined the team on Lichess. Ah, he doesn't want to play. That stinks. Yeah, absolutely. If you know anybody else who's interested in the channel, definitely appreciate all your support. Okay, so hopefully here we can get one of those lines I'm really familiar with that seems to happen more often, which is d5, bishop takes c3, b takes c3, and f5. Okay. So this line I see a lot more often, so I'm a lot more comfortable with these positions. F5. Okay, so white has the two bishops and black has pawn weaknesses to go after. White wants to open the position for his bishops, and black wants to, again, look to trade queens and take this to an endgame. D6 is good because we want to block potential pushes. We want to go knight f6, knight b d7, knight b6, stuff like queen a4, bishop d7. Okay, when they go h5, you want to go knight f6, and then if they go h5, you usually just avoid any possibilities of a sack on h5, and you just go rook g8, because you're not going to, most of the time you're not going to castle on the king side anyway. And we welcome the knight into e6, because that creates more weaknesses in the actual position. Okay, do we want rook g8 so that... I don't know. I can also go knight e4. Or knight c6. Okay. If he wants to do something funky and sack on the queen side with the rookers... Oh, what's going on with my board? Sorry, guys. What in the world? Nobody can see what's going on. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to play again. It's nice to meet somebody who plays some lines that are a little bit played less often. For sure. Okay, now we castle. But we didn't get our knight into b6. So this is definitely a little different than we normally get. But we have knight e5 potentially as an option at some point to hit c4. When I castle on the queen side, I usually have rook d7 as a defensive option. That's usually kind of important. Castles. Okay, but he's not in a position right now to really exploit that side of the board. He needs to complete his development for sure. Okay, so he's jumping straight onto the b file, but he's not really going to be in a position to exploit that for a little while, because he can only get the rook and the queen on it. I mean, is it possible we just have maneuvers like this? Probably better to play knight e5. Makes more sense. Or should we go... Oh, a lot of good moves here. A lot of good moves for white, or for black. A lot of tempting moves. I don't know what the strongest one is, though. I think we can rule out this is 3 moves, and I think that just gives white a lot of time for stuff. We know he's going to push e3, because he's got to move his bishop. Or maybe king c7. Yeah, let's do that. That's a little bit weird, but it gives us rook b8 at some point. Oh, interesting. So he wants the bishop on g2 instead. In that case, don't we have rook b8, bishop g2, knight e5, hitting c4? Like, c4 is going to be a big weakness if he tries to move his bishop away. Okay, but he's going to opt for being active. I can't blame him. If you go with a passive... If you go with kind of the passive approach in an opening like this, it usually doesn't turn out too well for you. White needs to take advantage of the fact that he has the bishop pair. Realizing that his pawn weaknesses are a big deal. And if he's passive about this position, he's just going to get completely destroyed. Okay, now just don't we have queen a6? Queen a6, queen b5, we have knight takes c4, right? And, I mean, we're going up a pawn. We go up a pawn in that position, but on top of that, I mean, yeah, our a pawns aren't going to be that big a deal, but I'm also looking at the e6 pawn. It's also going to be a weakness in an endgame. So it's not just the fact that we're going up a pawn. It's the fact that we're gonna have more opportunities to go up. go up 2 pawns at some point, hopefully. You know. You drink that water or water the plants with it? I started in my when I'm streaming. I started bringing a pitcher of water up to my room because I wasn't drinking enough, and I got tired of running downstairs and filling up my water bottle. So I don't have any plants in my bedroom. Just not my night for 15-minute chess. It had been going so well lately, I was hoping it would just continue. Welcome, Miss Scourge. How are you doing? Okay, but so on one hand, his bishop is just like, it looks powerful, but it's kind of just stuck here defending pawns, so. Okay, just go b6 maybe? Or knight e4. Let's go knight e4. He's kind of dawdling over castling, so I mean, if he just takes, then c4 is just going to be an issue. And you can't really push because I have this move. White's definitely got issues. This is one of the best positions I've had all night. Yeah, doing good. Doing good. Just having a chill evening, playing some chess. Was kind of crushing it in 15-minute chess lately. Not so much tonight. And we lost our board again. Board. Alright, we'll get the board back. Bear with me, guys. We're gonna get the board back. Oh, come on. Where's my board? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. I wish it would stop doing that. So yeah, just been crushing it in 15-minute chess lately, so I thought I'd give it a go. But now we are on a 4-game losing streak, which kind of destroys the positive momentum from the 4-game winning streak I had yesterday on my stream. We just need to win. Just need to win a game right now is what we need to do. Just need to win a game. We'll be good. What are we doing here, though? Like, if I go b6, he maybe has queen b5. And then we're like, wait. Okay. b6, queen b5, queen a4. He can't come into any of these squares. If he takes and trades, he can't do this because of rook b1. So maybe that's okay for us. Let's try that. Let's give that a go. My knights are doing a great job defending these squares. And remember, we're going with the theory that if queen b5, queen a5, we want to open the position since he kind of has some back rank issues. And this a5, a pawn on a5 is not really a weakness for us because his bishop can't get access to it, and his bishop's really the only piece that would have a chance of attacking it. So remember, guys, if you learn nothing else from this stream, a weakness is only a weakness if it can be exploited. If it can't be exploited, then it's not a weakness. It's what I always say. A weakness is only a weakness if it can be exploited. I need another playlist. This one's not doing it for me. What is...
EVE Online is a vast universe, alive with the unrelenting activity and combined history of its players.
I need upbeat, more upbeat. He can't castle because I just take his bishop. Where's this guy from? He's from New Jersey. Does that weakness? Oh, that's an interesting... That is interesting thought. I have not really put a lot of thought into that question. Nice question. Nice question, Coach. I can't really that's something I always say, but I've never really thought about what you just said, you know? I was just gonna go queen a5, but he doesn't have to take my queen. You know? Yeah, I can't think, I'm sorry, I can't think of an answer to your question. Yeah, I mean, I guess all I was thinking was, though, if he takes here, then he has some back rank issues, combined with the fact that this bishop would be hanging if he castles. Maybe he goes rook b5, though. No, see, that's still not going to work, because we have a6. He can't take because of the back rank. I always make that statement. I've never really thought about what you just said. You know? Maybe he could try this. I mean, this would go against the theory of the opening, but he could defend his back rank by taking. And then go rook b5, I guess. I mean, maybe we still go rook b6, but then he could just castle. So maybe white's unraveling. I would definitely just like to get the rooks off the board and play this endgame. Because I like my possibilities if we could take this to an end game. Yeah. This is what I just said. Why? But okay, here's the thing though. This pawn is hanging. So this has still got to be better for me. I just have this move, right? You were a fan of my move knight e4? Or his capture on e4? Oh, whoops. Oh, he castled. I was like, what? Alright. I should just be crushing this here now. I'm up a pawn. His bishop is still bad. If he takes, I'm just going to take with the king. Because I don't want to lose h6. Yeah, there weren't a lot of moves. There were not a lot of moves for me to play there. No, because rook takes b8, I just take with the king. I just take back with the king. If he goes rook b1, we just go king c7. And his bishop's still. I mean, and if necessary... Oh my goodness, really? Okay. What trouble? There's no trouble. This is just really good for me. I mean, I want to take that bishop because that's just how I roll. And just play a better endgame. Okay, take, here. I know, right? I want his bad bishop. Here. This has just got to be better for me. I know it's contrary. I mean, coach, first and foremost, okay, this is just GG. First and foremost, I have always been about the end game. I have always been an end game player. So if I see an opportunity to transpose to an endgame where he has a lot of weaknesses. Like, I don't know what the rook exchange... He just completely missed this d5 move. And this is just GG. This is just GG, guys. I'll probably play him another game if he wants to play and then go back and analyze this. Really, bro? You're not gonna resign? Unbelievable. Spam that no respect emote in the chat, guys. Spam that no respect emote in the chat. Up 2 pawns. Up 2 pawns. Easy dub. Easy dub for people much lower than even my rating. Come on, bro. Are you really going to waste my time in this? You are seriously going to waste my time on this. See, the whole thing is that he's always going to lose this square at some point, and then we just move and we go. So, coach, when I started playing chess, I don't know if you remember, I used to play my practice games on Chessmaster back in the day. And I would, okay, we got the first win of the night, guys. I would play the computer at different levels. And it would, you know, the computer would blunder pawns. And I learned how to grab material and play endgames. Like, I was very comfortable. Like, I'd say 90% of my games were probably endgames. And I would just grab a pawn that the computer blundered. And then I would just torture. There we go. Scourge with the no respect. I would just torture, basically, the computer. I'd grab a pawn or two and then win in the endgame. Like it was nothing. In fact, when I did have a coach for a little while, he would say that I was way too comfortable in the endgame and I need to learn how to win in the middle game as well. Okay, let's try this. But anyway, that's a little of my back theory. Now, obviously, I can win in endgames, I can win in not endgames. And I think it was good for my chess in the long run that I started out being so comfortable in endgames. Because it means I'm not afraid of them now. I mean, that one, yeah, you probably do need to be a little careful because of, you know, rook endgames are so tricky, but it was just like his structure was so bad. It just felt like it had to be losing with him down a pawn, you know. The only question was, I don't even think him going to rook f1 instead of trading rooks was good. Because I had d5, and then on rook f7, I had king d6. This is a middle game, Scourge. This is a middle game. Our pieces are now... Okay, I allowed bishop a6. Why did I do that? Maybe we have queen d6. No, we don't have queen d6. Anyway, I'm very comfortable taking a game into the endgame still because of it. And I guess if you consider the fact that a lot of players, like, when they first start out chess, they want to learn openings and stuff because they think that's the most exciting thing. that the fact that I'm willing, the fact that I started with endgames first, is probably good. You know, the fact that I loved endgames so much. Anyway, not to bore or anything. I'm kind of irritated I allowed this bishop a6 move. I did not need to play knight c4 right away. Okay. His king, there's no pieces near his king, so I'm going to move my queen over here. This is a good playlist. This is a good playlist. I just needed the music more upbeat to get that first win. Duh. Okay, so we can go rook b1 to threaten bishop takes c5. Try to win the pawn. Our bishop is very nice on d6 because it keeps his rook out of some of these squares. Okay, knight a4, maybe we go c5. That would make sense to me. That would make sense to me, Scourge. Yeah, and then you understand if an endgame is actually good for you, you know? Okay, so what he wants knight b3, is that really an issue for us? What is this knight doing on a4? A very odd piece. Anyway, Scourge, what are you up to tonight? Doing anything fun? Now that we got that first win, I'm feeling good. I was not feeling good losing 4 in a row. That was not good. Now, granted, 2 of them were to a very, very strong opponent, but... Okay, well, he wants to trade queens. If we trade queens and I play rook b4... Okay, let's go. Let's just keep the queens on right now. Do you guys think on, you notice on a lot of these EDM playlists, you notice the pictures of these females? Do you think a lot of these people are real or fake? You're just getting into music. Like creating your own music, like electronically? I don't know. You guys think this is a real person here in this picture? You think she's real? You think any of the rest of the people that pop up are real? Or you think they're fake? I mean, I know a lot of these. It says if you look at a lot of these comments, it looks like it makes claims that the people are real, but I don't know. Okay, so we don't need to take this knight right away. And it's not really clear what that knight is doing right there at the moment. So I almost want to just... Yeah, photoshopped images, but they've got links to... The claim is that it's an actual person. If I don't take the knight, then he has knight b7, trying to take my bishop, but then maybe I have c5. I don't know. It's... See, watch this. Okay, let's pause for a second. Someone asks in the chat who this person is, and then provides a link. The last time I clicked on one of these, it actually... Ooh, I hope I don't get a scam or something here. Probably not wise to be clicking on stuff like that. What is the knight doing on a6? This is kind of comical, the way this is turning out here. C5 he could take with the knight, bishop, bishop. I mean, if we play c5, I want to be able to go here. Oh. Here's her photos. Looks like she's a real person. Right. Okay. Right. It's true. It is so true. Okay. So, all I'm wondering, I like this pawn on c4, though, because he doesn't get his opportunity to put his knight on d5. Yes. Oh, I mean, models' pictures are usually probably photoshopped. Okay. I don't want to move this c-pawn right now, because we don't want the knight coming anywhere else. Let's go a4 to try to go a5. Pawn takes, we have rook b7. Okay. And we don't want to let him take. c5, pawn takes, bishop takes. Knight c7, now we would have rook b7 available to us. Photoshopping an image doesn't make a person unreal. True. True. Maybe c5 now, though. Because pawn takes we can take with our bishop. And then knight c7 is an issue. Because rook b7. I mean, I like my bishop. I don't want the I don't want him getting play on the d file. When you were younger, you took a lot of photos of models. Really, coach? Interesting. How did you get that gig? Did you get paid for that and stuff? would love to get a pass D pawn, because that would pretty much pin down his rook to defending, which is why I'm expecting, well, this move really busts up Black's structure. Plus Rook B7. Taking photos of models is easy, yes, but absolutely, but how did you get into that? How did you get involved in that? How'd you get that opportunity, you know? This is a good song. Oh, you would just ask pretty girls if they want their photos taken. Nice! That's, you know, let's try this. And if he takes here, we're gonna take here. That's it. I mean, it's a good way to go. Yeah, that makes sense. Scourge would just ask pretty girls other things. I am liking my position here. This knight is bad. Swapping off just gives me a very nice protected pass pawn. You have tons of model stories you could share. Well, share a couple with us. Let's go, guys. I mean, Black's pieces are just bad. Really bad here. How does Black unwind? I would suspect that I have a better position here. Because of my pieces are so good. Can I not just take this? Hitting the rook? I mean, is there any logic to rook b8? Let's just take on c6. We want to hit this undefended rook. Some of the girls chose the opposite look. They wanted to take clothes off in the store. So now do we have rook b8? Rook b8. Knight takes d6. Pawn takes. Rook takes d6. We have queen takes d6. exploiting the back rank, right? Rook b8. Rook takes. Rook takes. He has issues. Rook b8. Knight takes d6. Pawn takes. Rook takes d6. We can just take with the queen because the rook can't take the queen. Okay. I'm gonna try and not let him off the hook here. Wow, you took pictures of nude models? You took nude photos in stores? Wow. Did you really do that in stores? That's crazy. If you did that in stores... Wow. How old were you? And you never got... You had to have gotten in trouble at some point. Wow. That's crazy. Scourge, there's no place in Costco for people to try on clothes. Did you ever get, like... You never got in trouble? Did you ever get caught? Did you ever get caught? You had to have gotten caught at some time. What happened... What happened when you got caught? They just throw you out? Okay. I can just take this, right? And then defend my pawn? And then take on c5, right? Is there anything better? Take. Check. I didn't realize Coach had. I didn't realize you had such good. You have such good stories, man. You have had some fun. That's true. That is true. That makes sense. You would take a team in. You would take a team of models in. Okay, I thought I just had the opportunity to defend this. And he doesn't have time for queen b6 because I take his rook. Okay, I can take that. Or just stall. I see. So we can take. We can take, and then check. And then check here, we go up 2 pawns, right? Take, we're up a pawn. Take, we're not up a pawn. Take, check. Take here, we're up 2 pawns. But, oh yeah, his rook is not on the d file anymore. Is there anything better than that though? Maybe just rook d4 to stall? Because his rook is... He could try like queen a5 to go queen a1. But then we could go queen c8 check. And you'd have rook d8. Or we could go a5. There's a lot of good moves. Okay. I just want to go a5. Oh. That's an interesting story. That is an interesting story. I never realized you did stuff like that. Now if he takes, we have queen takes e6, and then he'd have to block. Check. Check. King f7, we'd have rook d7. Okay, buddy. One, two, three, four. Outside pass pawn. I'm not too keen on that idea. Maybe I had better. Maybe we had better. And we went passive with our rook. Yeah, I've lost my edge. Blew this. Blew this, blew this. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? What am I doing? I had this one. I totally had this one. Now he's got the outside pawn. It's still a draw. It's still a draw. No, I didn't. I played the endgame in the first game so well. Such is the story of chess players. Oh, Actually, I think I started thinking about ice cream. Because I think I'm gonna go grab some ice cream here in a second. I'm gonna go grab some ice cream. Be right back. And we'll analyze these and we'll figure out how I completely blew that last game. After playing this first endgame so perfectly, how could I blow that advantage in that last game? One sec, guys. Alright. I'm back. Yeah, my accuracy in this game was at 96. So I was very accurate. And this is all theory. Again, like I was saying, if they go h5, I usually just go rook g8. Because we're going to castle on the queen side. And in a lot of lines, you don't want to mess with knight takes h5 and rook takes h5. Gets messy. Yeah, knight g5 isn't... There's no reason to try to do this. I guess maybe the thought is that if I go knight bd7, he has knight e6. And then I don't have knight b6 because he has knight c7. But I just attack it, and then if it comes into e6, we just take it. And black is already better. Okay. So queen a6 or king c7 both are good. And I guess there's no reason to play rook b8 right away. We can just go queen a6 hitting c4. Because the knight cuts off. The knight cuts off the attack on b7. So, but I'm doing good here. Wait a sec. Knight takes d5. How does that fit with the position? And knight g4? What the heck? And black is better. I could maybe see black being better here. But why would I fix the structure in that position? Not even a pawn ahead. Why would I fix the structure? You know, computers, guys. Computers. Yeah, queen takes a5 is no good. That pushes my advantage to 1. And then bishop takes e4 pushes the advantage to 2. Because of the fact that the threat is rook takes b1 and I also have knight takes c4. So it's classifying rook b8 as an inaccuracy and saying that rook f8 is better. But I mean, maybe to prevent rook b f1, but don't I have rook b8, rook f1, d5, rook f7, and king e6? What's he going? Rook g7, g5, takes, and rook b. I mean, come on. Black is just completely winning that position. And that's not just my opinion. That's the computer's evaluation as well. And it says that he should trade off on b8 even though that's completely losing. Which means the position is just losing. If rook takes b8 is the computer's move, the position is losing. Let's play the best computer suggestions. King h2. h5, g4, king c7, g takes, d5, king f4. This looks kind of scary for black, but I guess it's just king d6, king g5, king takes e6, king takes h5, and king f6. So we stop this pawn, and then we're going to make, you know, we're going to win over here in the center. Yeah. If rook takes b8 is white's best move, he's toast here. Rook b8 can't be an inaccuracy. If rook takes f8, if rook takes b8 is the best move for white, there's nothing inaccurate about my move. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, guys? Does anyone notice? Oh, that's weird. Stream Elements updates very slowly sometimes on okay, now the game I blew. I mean, the game I'm pretty sure I had a big enough advantage I should have won. Just one sec, guys. That's funny. It says my accuracy is 83.2 versus 90.1. I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised my opponent's accuracy was better than mine in the game. I didn't miss a wins, he didn't miss a wins. So I guess you say perfect defense, but obviously I could have improved, you know. You can always improve your variations when you have the advantage. Okay, so what do we have? Theory. I'm mostly just interested in the end game. So, yeah, I didn't need to allow this bishop a6 move right away. After I played knight c4, I kind of regretted it, even though it's not a losing move. But we did get a good bishop on d6. And then this knight went on a really unusual journey. Yeah. White's +1 here. That's what I thought. Plus 1.32. So, oops, sorry. Okay. So, it's saying I should just take. And then I guess taking here is probably bad because of rook b8. Knight takes d6, e takes d6. Why can't he take this? What am I missing? Oh, because I have rook. No, I don't. I need to push this, apparently. And this outside pawn is very good. That outside pass pawn is very good in conjunction with the weak back rank, I'm guessing. It says just +2 for white. So, I guess I didn't take into account that his back rank is probably so weak. There's no reason I can't grab. I mean, this is +2.5 though. So no rook d1. Oh, just play rook b8. Oh man, yeah, this is just This is just crushing because of the threat to e6. Now I'm frustrated with myself that I missed that. Yeah, this is just completely winning. This didn't even occur to me, but I mean, I guess this is only about 1.5 advantage here. Yeah, and it's not winning to take the rook. I knew that. And then king f2, I just completely blow it. So I need rook c5. But I'm not winning. It would have been better to keep the pieces on the board. Keep the pieces on the board for more of an... to have a better chance of keeping my initiative. Sometimes you have better positions, and the dilemma is when you just have to decide, is it good to trade off? Like, do you have a big enough advantage that you can convert? Or do you need to keep the pieces on the board until your advantage is bigger? So if I hadn't missed... If I hadn't missed in this position, rook b8. If I had seen rook b8, I'm sure I would have won this. But I didn't see rook b8. I was just thinking about just holding the d6 pawn for a second, and then just taking on c5. You know? But rook b8 was just completely winning. Okay, though. We go on. Okay, he aborted. Hopefully we get a stronger opponent. Okay, we got 1400. Been playing a lot of scotches lately. Let's try that. This guy's lower rated, so I mean, not to slight him because he could be much stronger than that, but I just find that when you're playing people who are lower rated, if you're the stronger player, just don't be afraid to really don't be afraid to open the position. Okay, I don't really want to trade queens. Oh my goodness. See, and then we're poised with this position where it's like, I know I'm not really... Okay, I don't want to trade queens, guys. I know it looks like I'm going for a scholar's mate here, but... Okay, but now we're happy because f6 is not a good move. This is just really bad. If I go queen b3, he basically has to go knight h6. So I'm going to do this even though it's moving a piece twice in the opening. Because this is just really bad. Really, really bad. What a... Mr. Art Vega re-hopped online. What a guy. He streamed for hours earlier, then he took a break, and he's back online again. Just, I just want knight d5. I mean, if he goes b5, we might just sack, guys. Or play bishop f7. Queen takes, rook d8 check. King takes, queen takes f7. Okay. Bishop f7 just looks really good, right? King here, we're just gonna take this queen and take the rook. GG, bro. GG, bro. Oh, now we want rook in here. Rook in here. No, I can't move his bishop. So he's down the exchange end, he can't move the bishop. Alright. What about this? What about the idea knight e2, knight g3, knight f5? I mean, it seems really slow, but he can't move his light squared bishop, so... Okay, so he wants to move his light square bishop. Okay, let's go f3. He has the discovery, but I'm just going to go king f1. The reason I pulled up my soccer standings, guys, was to see if my team, if a team loses tonight, my team's going to be in outright first place with 3 games to go in our division. So I'm hoping this team that's played 1 game less than us, I'm hoping they lose. Although they've played 2 games less than us, dang. Anyway, I'm hoping they lose because we lost to them, so we won't have a chance to win the division unless they lose 1 game. Kind of sucks that we need help to win the division, but we lost to them 5-4. Yeah, we lost. Our only game we lost was to them 5-4. We're 4-1. We're 4-1. And we have a 5-4 loss to them. But they've apparently only played 3 games somehow. So they must have requested to play a couple of their games later in the season. If he ever moves this bishop, then I'm going to have rook d7 and rook g7. Once I get my rook involved, it's going to be GG, guys. Once the rook gets in the game, it's going to be game over. He wants to push with the discovery, I guess. I mean, I might have to move my knight away from f5, unfortunately. Because my rook can't really penetrate at this point. If I go there, he just has rook, bishop c7. I'll go knight d5. You gotta change it because my rook can't penetrate. If my rook could penetrate, then the game would be over, but my rook can't penetrate right now. Need the rook. Now we're making progress. Now his bishop lost containment on my rook. Let me have here. Now rook g7. I don't think he can really stop that. I mean, h4, rook g7, king h5, g4 is mate. Or, yeah, h4, rook g7, king h5, g4 is mate. You guys are enjoying the content. Thank you for being here. I appreciate your support on this Saturday night. I'm probably going to go several more hours because I took a very long nap today after my shift this morning. My 4 to 9 o'clock shift this morning. I went to work with, I went to bed really late last night, which I've been trying to avoid doing. Going to work late. Well, staying up late since I switched over to working early mornings. But I decided to go to bed late last night. So I had like 3.5, 4 hours of sleep today. And, I kind of I knew this was my last work day of the week, so. But it was 6 days in a row of waking up at 4. So I kind of just came home after work and I just crashed. And basically around 12 o'clock, I came home around 10:30, ate breakfast, and then what'd I do? I kind of hung out in bed, watched some YouTube videos and stuff, and then turned my lights out around 12, and I didn't wake up till... I woke up several times, but I didn't stop napping until around 5, so I'm going to be... I doubt I'm going to be going to bed for a few hours at least, because that was a lot of sleep, and I needed it, but it just means I won't be able to fall asleep probably as quickly. This position's kind of like a gambit. I get compensation in the form of my active pieces is what I'm hoping for. My rook being active on the A file. There's really nothing better than... Nice. I personally think it would have been good to just take on b6 and accept, but... Okay, now I want to hit his bishop and his... Hitting both bishops, basically. This one's undefended. It just was, it's not very ambitious to not take the pawn in that position, because it just gave me the pawn back in a position where it's nice for me to have the pawn back. It'd be much more challenging to play that position down a pawn. Okay, I was gonna go for this. Knight b5 runs into queen b7 possibly. What's this castle? The knight is misplaced on a3. Is a bad piece. Like one of the first things you learn in chess is knights on the edge of the board are. Well, the statement is knights on the edge of the board are dim, and the reason is because they only control 4 squares. See that? That knight only controls 4 squares. But meanwhile, my knight controls 8 squares. So most of the time, you would rather your knight was controlling a lot of squares, you know? Okay, let's try to put some pressure on the queen side. That was a good move, breaking the bishop's pressure on the rook on f1 so that the knight can move. But we have e5, don't we? Yeah, this is just a fork. We're going to win a bishop or a knight. Knight d5, we can just take, and then if he takes, we can just take on d4. So we're just going to win. At most, we're probably going to win a piece for a pawn. So now we're just winning. Okay, just take this. So what? He wants to take on d6 and win a rook. Okay, we can defend that. Yeah. I can just defend that, and then play knight h5, hitting his bishop. Now that we're up in material, we just want to look for ways to trade off. It's the general theory when you're up in a chess game. It's just trade off pieces. Because the theory is that if you're trading off pieces when you're winning, you're just going to get into a scenario most of the time where the fact that you have more pieces is going to be a decisive advantage. Okay, now we have queen b6. Check with the double attack. We have 2 attackers on b2. So we're gonna get a pawn. So we're gonna have a minor piece, extra minor piece for free. He's not even now gonna have a pawn to show for being down. And here's another reason these knights can be bad on the edge of the board. Where is this knight going? The only square it can go back to is b1. Which doesn't really, even in this position, doesn't even really do anything, because it can't go to d2. And if it goes to b1, then it's blocking the a rook. If I could attack this knight somehow one more time, maybe even bishop f8, d5, you know, this knight would be lost. Okay, let's hit c3. We'll let him have this if he wants it. Okay, so what's he want now? Knight b5? We're okay with that. Let's bring in the bishop with the discovery. And then we can go bishop b2, right? Hitting the rook, hitting the knight. This knight is just getting into all sorts of issues right here. Okay, so that was the only way to save that position, creating a bigger threat just to take my rook. But we're up in material, guys, so we can just trade the rook. And then go bishop e5. Simplify to a completely winning position, and yeah. That's what you do. You want to eliminate your opponent's chances at counterplay, basically. And if there's pieces on the board, okay, bishop takes c4, we have to be careful because no, rook c1, we can move our bishop back to defend. Okay. Eliminate your opponent's counterplay when you're up in material. And by getting pieces off the board, then they don't have as many opportunities. King here, we have mate here. That's a very beautiful mate. So he's got to take my knight. And then the bishop on g3 is going to combined have a mate threat. Then his rook's going to have to go passive in order to hold. We're going to come in, we're going to take the pawn, and then we're just going to push our pawn through and queen. This is just GG. I'll post my link again for him, see if we can get him in the... Okay. I'm kind of getting my mojo. I know he's a weaker opponent, but I lost 4 in a row, so I'm going to play at least one more. Okay, he didn't handle this position very well the last time, so... Okay, let's take again. Let's take again. And queen takes does not promise anything, even though he's probably going to blunder considering his level, but queen takes, king takes, bishop c4, f6 is actually fine for black if he knows what he's doing, so I don't really want to take that shot there. I'd rather play queen f3. I'd rather threaten a scholar's mate. Okay, let's attack this. Trying to bust up his structure. Okay, he's already played this better than last time, but still, we got some pressure here. Okay, interesting. Well, let's go knight d2. Offer to put our knight on c4 is interesting. And should we take... Okay, we can force... Okay, and then now he has a bad h-pawn, double f-pawns. And we have completely healthy pawns. There's no pawn weaknesses. So we don't want to do anything like... I don't want to take. Because maybe his pawns aren't going to be as bad after he plays f5. We just want to hold. The theory is that I apply in a lot of these positions with potential pawn weaknesses is don't improve your opponent's pawn structure. You know, just wait till they try to push, because usually, at least in a lot of the openings I see, when they try to push, it doesn't turn out well from them, basically. Give your opponent a chance to strangle himself. Now he wants bishop g5. Okay, so... But can we not take and take on f7? But... Are we going to run into trouble with our pinned knight, maybe? Should I go knight c4 first? Let's go knight c4 first. I actually think after f5 black might be fine with proper play. We'll see how he handles it. I mean, yeah, check. I'll pre-move the captures. He's getting rid of some of his weaknesses. We can take on e5. The threat is to take on e6. I was going to say go knight f7, but he could just throw in this check. Now I want to take... Probably this. So I can win. disconnected. I mean, most of the time when people disconnect, they usually end up getting the reconnect in fine in 2 minutes. I can't remember the last time somebody... Well, that doesn't work because he loses his rook. And then pawn takes, we just go rook g1, take on g2. Now we're threatening mate. So we're just going to chop the bishop off if he stops the mate. Just trying to get my confidence back right now, guys. I know these games aren't too entertaining against a lower rated opponent, but I lost 4 in a row for the first time in a long time. Definitely in the last 4 days that I've done game 15, you know, so. But I'll probably call this one the last game against this opponent. Now I officially finally have a winning record tonight, so that's good. 4.5. 4.5, and then four losses. 4 losses, and then winning 4.5. You don't want to, when you're the higher rated player and you're playing someone lower rated, you don't want to overthink things. You just make basic level threats, like I was threatening bishop takes c3. Because they're going to make moves like this, knight a2, which, yeah, he hit my queen, but in the long run, what is the knight doing on a2, you know? Bishop c3, yeah, this is just... They're wasted moves that don't really do anything. Obviously, the bishop, advanced players know the bishop is better on this diagonal, the knight is better on c3. Now he's got a... Yeah. This might just be an effort to just try to confuse me, but it's not good. If this was Bughouse, I'd be calling for, if this was Crazy House, Bughouse, I'd be calling for a knight, because it'd be mate in 2. Okay, let's come in here. All these wasted moves, you know. Very, very weak play by my opponent. But I don't... Yeah, my knight's gonna get trapped if I come backwards, so I'm not gonna play that. A6, keep his knight out of b5. Maybe just go for b5. Also had queen a5. He had queen d2. There was nothing decisive there. Yeah, he's just screwing around. This knight's bad. This knight is not great. This bishop has a very powerful diagonal. I have the whole A file. No, I can't move the A4 knight because the A2 knight hangs. And rook A1 runs into discoveries. Yeah, he's just busted. Okay, he wants the discovery. Let's just put the rook on a5. Okay, again, this knight can't move. The rook can't come to a1. Knight can come in and improve. Possibly take, just so we can double the rooks. Or we just go knight b6. Maybe he just plays bishop e2 and f4 here. Maybe that wasn't. Yeah. I was going to say. Maybe not necessary. Okay, knight c6 though to go knight d4. Moves like f4 create more weaknesses. But I mean, he's got to try something. f5, I want to go bishop f7. f5 also gives me the knight, that e5 square for a knight, which is nice. Alright, we'll move away from the tempo gaining f5 temporarily. Okay, so he's gonna get my bishop off the board if he wants it. He's fighting. He's definitely fighting, guys. But what is his knight on a4 doing? I'm probably just gonna go bishop e8. And that's going to force him to defend. Or go knight b2. Knight b2, we just go rook a2. So... bishop. I can play rook a8 now too because this bishop's diagonal's blocked off. I have knight takes b3. Removing a defender from the knight. Bishop takes b3. Bishop takes. he finally lost material. I mean, the way he was playing, he figured it was going to happen eventually. I figured it was going to happen, you know, but... We could just improve Queen D6, defend, play Rook A, and start penetrating. What? If he no. I was gonna say if he takes, King moves, I go Rook D1, but that, he's still defending. I mean, let's just try to, I guess, try to get a passer, I guess, would win the game. Because he's not really threatening to, perpetual us. So this outside pass pawn should just be completely winning. Got up a nice 8 points, I guess you could say, in this run. Queen here, we have Queen B2. Queen has to take, and then Queen. GG. Alright. So not the highest level game played by my opponent, but I mean, I think he felt like with the way the first three games were going around that I think he was kind of just goofing off. It says my accuracy was 94.3. I definitely did not take advantage though of him being just the waste of time on his moves he played. Yes, we won the game, but I mean, in here especially, Rook B1, first bad move. Knight A2, another bad move. Bishop E6, Knight C1, another bad move. Forced by the fact that he played two bad moves before. And then we should have just opened the position with D5 after all his wasted time. I mean, but we're much better. Another bad move. Oh, we had Rook takes A4, guys. B takes A4 and Bishop takes A2. Well, that's a bad miss. That is a bad miss, guys. Probably just moving too fast, you know? I mean, it's going to take a lot for me to not be better after all the wasted time earlier. But, okay. We were like plus 3 several times, but after this move... Okay, we're about plus 3. This knight is still bad. And then and just play knight takes B3. And just improve plus 3. We have the A file. Rook A2, we're plus almost 5. And then Rook A3 is the capper, because if he moves his rook, we have Rook takes D2. Rook takes D3. And if he takes, we have a winning pass pawn. And then this just forces the queens off, and he can't stop my pawn. Alright. So now we're plus 1.5. Yay, we're plus 1.5 after losing our first 4. Another 1400 drop. Last. I'm going to assume a lot of these people lower rated don't know how to play against Bishop C4. I have C3. Let's castle. Queen D5 was also an option, as well as Bishop takes F7. E5. What am I doing? Chat, what am I doing? Being crazy is what I'm being. Okay, now we got compensation. I played that badly earlier. Moving too quickly. Okay, but he has to take back, right? Okay. You just take. He moves his rook, it's over. I didn't even play that well. So 89-4 versus 58-9. Yeah, 89's not that good accuracy-wise. But I was moving just so fast early on. Okay. Yeah, bishop takes f7 is the best move. King takes f7. Queen d5. King f8. Queen takes c5. d6 and queen takes c3. Is better for white. I thought castles was a move, but maybe not. Yeah, e5's no good. I was mixing up my variations. After I played it, I regretted it. Yeah, black's just 2 pawns ahead here. I thought I had... For a second, I thought I had bishop takes f7. I hallucinated. I've been playing so many games today. I've been on for several hours, so... But then he started to kind of make some little blunders. Bishop g4, f3. I mean, he's better, but knight e4. Now he was plus like 2 earlier, and now he's... And after this move, he's completely lost his advantage. I thought queen e7. But we still have knight takes f6, I guess. And black's got to surrender the exchange with queen e6. And then try to hold this. But white's up. White's going to be up material. So, you know. Yeah, so this is just... But d6, okay, d6, yeah. e5 was a really bad move. Again, just moving really fast here. No reason to castle, just play bishop takes f7. And queen d5, white's better. I know that. I'm trying to remember if I can go queen d5 as well. Queen e7. Knight takes c3. I'm trying to remember, there's some position where queen d5... No, it's not this one. Where there's like knight h6, bishop takes h6 in castles. There's something funky, but here it just hangs the bishop. So I'm mixing up my positions. I mean, after what was played, obviously, he loses the exchanger, gets mated. But here, bishop takes f7 is just much better for me. And when he played h6, he's just mated. Not a very high level played game. Um, just opening knowledge disparity right there is what that really is. Even though I didn't play that well. Queen A5, guys. If he goes knight C3, we have this winning trick. Are we gonna get it? No, bishop D2, of course not. Okay, so he's gonna try knight C4 or knight B5. Knight F6 or if I go knight G4, I have 4 attackers on that square. Was what I was hoping for. I'm gonna take. I might just be losing, but I'm counting on the fact that at some point I have d6 to defend. If I run into a scenario where I'm being pinned. Queen takes d4, he loses to knight takes f3, and bishop takes d4. So I'm just up a pawn. So it should be good. And I guess just play something to do with taking control of this diagonal. Okay, let's just defend e7. Hey, Akeem, how you doing? You were right about Coach. He stopped by and said he wasn't going to be able to, do the stuff tonight. Oh, why did I do that? I just knight f5. But he said we'd make up. We'd do it some other time. So yeah. Told him I was sorry he was going through what he was going through, you know? Anyway. Been playing. How long have I been playing? 3 hours, 14 minutes. We played a ton of games. I have to watch this square. See, this move looks kind of scary. But after I move, like, he's going to have to move his knight. If he goes here, I cannot go here. Because he has this move. Because there's this pin on my f-pawn. Yeah, I've already played. In that 3 hours, 14 minutes, I've already played. 11 games, which means I'm probably not thinky enough. Although the last 5 were against really easy opponents. I lost the first 4. Yeah, he needs a distraction. He hung out here for a while. Don't play this move. Oh, wait. Here, here, here. He'd have this move. And then he's coming into G6, and then we're busted. So I've got to go King F8. Is the only move. Now he wants to take on F7. Wow, this is... You're just not being very nice to me, chat. Not being nice. Okay. Cut that bishop off. Try to swap queens, probably. He's just being annoying, like...
Sign up for the student plan today and get 1 month free.
I've got to do something to simplify this position, guys. I need to trade some material or something. Like, I feel like he's somehow surviving where he shouldn't be right now. I mean, but I guess his position's not. And now I'm gonna have to put my stupid bishop back on b7. Because e6, my, e6, my bishop on f6 hangs. And then I'm getting mated on h8, maybe. Oh, I can't take that because I get made on f7. Now I'm starting to take this and this. How does he deal with this threat right now? So he's going knight f5. I have to take. And then what he wants? Rook h8. He wants queen h7. So I think we go rook h8 to defend. And then on rook g4 we just go king f8. And we should be good. I think it's just too risky to take the rook. We might end up having to play like queen g6 in that scenario, and we don't want that. Do I not have bishop c8 here? Eliminating pieces is a win for me now that I'm just completely winning, chat. Eliminating pieces is just completely winning for me. And now we just use that great technique of ours to win. Okay, so we can't take on c3 because we lose our rook. But now that our bishop on f6 is defended with the queen, we can play this. At this point, basically, by continuing, he's just hoping for a miracle. Because I'm just a rook ahead. I've defended, all my pieces are defended. So tactically I should be good. You know? And now we're just a rook ahead. He doesn't have anything for it. Just hoping, chat. That's all he's doing. He's just hoping for a blunder. Not planning on doing that, though, so. Guess we'll try to go for Queen H3, because obviously he's trying to avoid exchanges. You know? Anybody's garbage in their bedroom get filled ridiculously fast? Or is it just me? Of course, it doesn't help that the water bottles I drink out of can't be recycled. So I throw them all away. Now I'm a rook and a pawn ahead. Even better. It's almost tempting just to completely simplify. Rook takes, queen d5, trade everything, just convert. Now that I'm a pawn and a rook ahead, you know? Oh, I have rook b1. Yeah, let's play rook b1. That's going to eliminate another piece. And he can't take, because queen f1 runs into rook h1. King takes h1, and then queen takes f1. So he's got to play like queen here now, but then I have queen f3, right? Threatening mate in 1. He doesn't have time to take my rook. Yeah, that was pretty uneventful. It was just really about not blundering once I got the advantage. So 62.6 for my opponent, 88.1. Nice win, you were never in trouble. Well, that's always good to hear. So, okay, we have a standard... Well, I say standard opening line. I can just take on d4 and play knight c6 as well. So, yeah. Bishop b3 is not really in keeping with what's going on in the position. Like, once white gambits this pawn, he needs to try to get his knight, his rook, and his bishop more active. So I c3, and then queen takes b2. You're just asking for disaster. C takes d4. Queen takes a1. You're getting your... running into queen b3 and bishop c3. And white's just completely winning. So you don't have time to take on b2, basically. So c3 is a much stronger move than what was played. C3 is much stronger. There's just no time to go pawn hunting. I mean, but bishop b3, you're moving a piece again to kind of stop a move that's not a threat, you know? So knight c6, knight a3, that's a good move. Gearing up to come in here. Knight f6. And then here I kind of wondered maybe if I should have played d6 first. But then I thought he might have knight f6, g5, and then I have knight h6. Okay, knight g4 is the best move. Castles is the best move. Okay, so far so good. And then h3. I mean, it would be very easy, I could see, for white to think that tactically there has to be some reason you can't take this e5 pawn. But I mean, for me, there's not much of a choice. If I go knight h6, then this knight is just bad forever. Queen d2 is a big issue for that knight. And then just thinking about the position and knowing at some point I probably have d6 to defend whatever is on e5, decided to take. And here, even though white gets a pawn, I can just go d6. I'm just a pawn ahead. Let's see if I'm curious if I ever really slipped up. Okay, rook f8 is a mistake. How is it a mistake? Because he has queen e6? I go rook f8. Who's gonna play queen e6? Who's gonna play queen e6? Nobody's gonna play queen e6. That's ridiculous, guys. Okay, so apparently this is even. White's got enough compensation. But knight h6 was not a good move. d5, black is now +2. So it went from even to +2. How is that a blunder? g4, g5, that's very weakening on the king, but I guess that's what the computer wants. But now, yeah, this is an issue. And so he had to try something. So this, after king g7, white's just lost. So he has to try knight f5, forcing. And I can just take on d4. I don't need to worry about queen h7, but I did. Better to over defend against the threats, you know. And pretty uneventful conversion, I'd say. Anyway, GG to my opponent. There was a chance he was going to come check out the stream, so if you're in the channel, GG, hope to play you again sometime. Yeah. Had fun. Swing by again, we'll play sometime. We will definitely play again sometime if you're interested. Alright guys, I'm going to use the restroom real quick and be right back. Whatever, that doesn't even work. It said I could get information about users in the chat by entering a specific thing, but that didn't even work. All right. We are streaking now, guys. 7.5 in our last 8. But the level of competition has also gone down too, so you know what? That's could be part of the scenario. Oh, I pulled down my stream apparently. On the computer I had it up and apparently I shut it down for some reason.
Just here? He's taking a minute. Oh, he was waiting for me. He was waiting for me. There's one more minute. I wanted to be aggressive, but
Okay, obviously she's not playing chess right now. I was gonna see if she wanted to play. Hey, we're a couple of games from getting back to what we started at. Okay, anytime they go c3, you can get easy equality, if not a better position, just by taking and playing d5. So what's he gonna do? The only other thing really now is to play it like a gambit. d5, they usually go e5. Like I always say, this pawn push usually weakens the d4 pawn when it comes so early in the game, which is why I usually end up outplaying most people right after it happens. Because we're going to go knight f5, queen b6. We're going to chop that knight off that's defending it. You know. Also, our queen moved to b6. b2 is weak because the bishop came up to defend the pawn. I don't know what he could possibly be thinking about here. He's just going to get himself into trouble if he... Queen b6. He has knight a4, right? So let's castle first. In this game, let's try to keep his knight away from b5. Different approach. Challenge on the C file, I guess. Okay. Maybe we should have gone knight a5 to c4. Maybe that would have been better. So he wants to take our knight. Doesn't usually cause me too many issues when they do that. Besides, I could take with the e-pawn, couldn't I? If I needed to. Yeah, if I take the other way, he's gonna play like bishop h6 and queen here. Coming here, possibly one of these squares. Hey, stand-up count. How you doing? If we finish this game fast enough, maybe I'll hop in the... Maybe I'll play a 15-minute tournament. I mean, granted, the one that's gonna start here in 10 minutes is not looking very strong, but might be kind of entertaining. Or I'll get paired with some cheaters And then I'll lose a bunch of rating points. Could be an issue.